Welcome to the day in the life of running a tropical fish store. Before we get any further in this video, here is your gentle reminder, wink wink, nudge nudge, to get amongst the Three Idiots Talk Aquariums podcast. We do it live on Facebook and YouTube. It'll be ready for you when you finish this video. Did it again. Maybe I'll turn them off now. G'day fish keepers, it is Tuesday, the 23rd of April. And that's good coffee. Right, just gone 7:30. I've been here for about an hour so far, replying to emails that came in overnight, replying to comments and stuff like that came in overnight. Now it is time for me to go through the shop, or actually go through the back room because the shop lights aren't on yet. Check all the fish, make sure there's no issues, make sure there's no fires to put out and stuff like that. So let's get that on right now. So all of the angels survived the night. That's a good start. Keep an eye on them, do a water change in a couple of days time, add some more methylene blue, and hopefully we can combat this fin rot and get them all back to health. So far, so good. Later this morning I'm going to turn these tanks upside down and I'm going to set up the egg tumbler. So I'm going to strip that Frontosa girl into one of these tanks. Doesn't look to be any issues in the breeders' tanks. A couple of plump girls in there which we will take out over today, I assume, hopefully, and try and get some spawns out of. And the tetra breeding tank looks alright as well. Both of these overdue a water change, as we can see here. Both have got some catfish in there that like making a lot of mess, and I feed them pretty heavily to make sure they're all plump, ripe and ready and berry whenever I want to try and spawn from them. Running through QT just briefly, quickly. I'll come back a little bit later once I finish recording. Everything is looking pretty good. Just keeping a wee eye on him or her. A black sail or a spotted cory is way better. Still not ready for sale. Definitely going to have to leave it in here for a little bit longer. These were ordered in for somebody. I ordered 6 for somebody, and I also ordered 6 for the shop. Clearly the 6 from the shop did not make it, but we've still got the 6 that someone ordered. But I won't, even when they get through the quarantine, even though they're looking a lot better, I won't sell them straight away. I'll be holding on to them for a little bit longer, just to make sure that one there grows fins back a little bit more, make sure they're all of full health and ready to make their journey to their permanent home. The drums with the glow light Danios overnight. Rummy nose look fine as well. Some idiot bought Crebensis. Hey, I'm that idiot. What else we got going on through here? Candy Koi Better or whatever they're called. Looking good, looking spunky. Absolutely love these tetras. Seriously, I don't know if they're actually going to make it to the shop. I think they're so freaking cool. Black Samurai also looking really good, so I'm pretty happy with them. Now we'll work our way back through here. No issues in the Black Phantoms. Cobalt Grammies are all good. African Butterflies, sweet. Aldos came in a little bit smaller than I would have liked, so we're going to plump them up. They're all eating. There's been food going in there pretty much every day. It's always gone in the morning, so that's a good sign. We were having massive issues with the black neons. Bought 20 down to 4, unfortunately. Gold white clouds are looking pretty good. Again, had issues with the coaches when they came in. They seem to have settled down now, which is a nice. Puffers, they also came in a little bit rough. Again, seem to have settled down. They're eating live foods. Plenty of brine shrimp going in there. I've got some Daphnia at home that I keep forgetting to bring in, but I'll bring them in. Hopefully get a nice Daphnia culture running soon as well for them. Yo-Yo Loaches were good as gold from day one. And then Demosonis that are due to come out of quarantine end of this week. So it feels like the issues that we're having with the QT fish when they first came in might be over now, which is nice. Still don't feel totally out of the woods and totally confident. Do you think those corridors need a bit more time? And the fish that struggled to start with we'll definitely be holding back for a little bit longer because I just want to make sure they're all good. The ones that have come through, no issues, no deaths, no dramas, they'll be released middle of next week, but the other ones will probably hold for at least for another week just to make sure they're okay. But yeah, so that's them, and we'll just check out the rest of the fish that we've got hanging around at the moment as well. Got all of our Cory tanks. Rain last night, so I'm hoping that I might see a spawn. Unfortunately, I didn't put any breeding mops in some of these tanks, which I should have. Now the smudge spots seem to enjoy breeding on mops, but I used them in the rainbow fish, unfortunately, so maybe not, we'll get one in there. And all these other guys. No real signs of spawning. I thought this morning possibly we might get something from the albinos, the bronzes and the peppers, but we'll see how we go. They might need another good feed and a water change today to see if we can spur a couple of them going. And no lights are on the guppies, live bearers or anything like that. I can definitely see we've got one dead fish in there, which I'll deal with in a second. I normally do the rounds in here once the lights are on, so I can actually see, because all the tanks are generally covered with duckweed, which helps produce or increase the fry ratio in here. That's why we have them in here, but it's a bit hard to see without lights, so once they flick on I'll have a proper look. But I can definitely see we've got an issue with a leopard tail up there. White cloud fry are growing nicely, but still not ready to leave this tank. Maybe another couple of weeks we can put them in one of the bigger tanks, which will probably work out quite well, because I think I need about 10 more days worth of growing on some of the other fry in the other tanks to clear a tank up. So I'll show you them as well. So I think with some of these particular zebra danios in here, they probably need about another 10 days, some smaller ones in there. And same with some of these these golden white cloud minnows. Probably need about 10 more days to get to full selling size. I want them all kind of that size, not so much that size. So probably about 10 days or so away. We'll just target feed them, lots of water changes, that kind of stuff, growing a bit faster, but by about then the other minnows should be big enough to put in here to start growing from here as well. The more space they have, the faster they grow. I walked through this area a couple of times this morning. I can't quite work out why it's so stinky. Then I remembered the Infusoria is just festering along quite nicely, and I'd also left the lid to the microworms on, so this little cavern or little tunnel here absolutely freaking stinks at the moment, but that's okay. Do another fry hunt in here today. I don't think there is fry in here. Haven't seen anything moving around yet. I think we have gone bust on the zebra danios. I don't think there's any eggs to start with. Don't appear to be any eggs or any fry in either of the white cloud tanks. So I'm not quite ready to throw in the towel on them just yet, but we're not too far away from getting rid of them, resetting them, cleaning them up and going again. And then over the other side here, we've definitely got lemon tetra fry, which is neat. One just darted through there. I am on the side of there is no fry in this black neon tank, so again we'll give it another day or two. But I think these are all basically microorganisms, so I think we've gone bust on that. So again, probably give this a clean out, restart, and then in through here as well. I haven't seen fry in this tank either. Haven't seen microorganisms. There's so many eggs in here, but I haven't seen fry, so I'll have another couple of really good looks. But I think we might be going to pull pin on those two, but we've obviously still got fry in here. Clearly turn the lights off, run round all the spawning mops like this. This is our Julie not Julie Corydoras. Run through with a torch, double check for eggs. Any potential egg that I see, I'll take the whole lot out and pull them all out. Doesn't appear to be any eggs in here for now. Stirring up the pygmy Corydoras. Always seems to be eggs, always seems to be fry in here, which is neat. Definitely more than what we started with, but I think I definitely need a bigger tank, and there's way too many snails in there for my liking. So there's our girl that we're going to strip today. Got to do a big water change because it's going to be really hard to catch her out of this tank. I need to work out a plan on catching her, not freaking her out too much so she swallows. We'll get those tanks set up first, and then we'll go from there. Partly want to see some cuckoo catfish in the mouth, well, eventually develop, but also want to see some frontosa, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, big water change on that just to make it a little bit easier to catch her, and we'll see how that goes. So that's the basic rounds this morning out here in the facility, hatchery, whatever you want to call it. I'll periodically throughout the day check the fish for spawns, and like I said, hopefully today I'm going to put a few more spawns down as well between everything else. Lights don't go on in the shop for about another hour. We'll do basically the same thing in an hour, check all the shop fish are okay, no issues with them, hopefully no white spots being transferred from the angelfish, and then we'll go from there. What's a day in the life of running a tropical fish store video without enjoying the Diamond Tetra tank? Beautiful tank, I'm still absolutely loving it. Great fish. There's a couple of fish that are beginning to develop a little bit more, a little bit bigger finnage coming through, but a body size, which is really cool. Really loving how these big rocks and boulders are getting a little bit of colour to them via algae. That's exactly what I wanted. Really bringing on that natural look to them, which I'm absolutely stoked about. Right, I'm going to get into some water changes, some prepping, some tank filling, getting ready to strip these fish, or this girl, and prepare some tetras for spawning and stuff like that. I'll take you through that journey as we get there. Right now I'm going to put on my Pump Me Up everyday playlist that I listen to every single morning. Gets me really rearing and rocking and rolling for some work. Let's do this. Before I do that, hose situation. It's getting worse. Should have someone in today getting it sorted. They were meant to turn up yesterday but couldn't do it. They got a bit busy. Gave me a ring halfway through the day saying they're going to be stuck at the job. So hopefully today we can get this sorted. We're not just pissing water down the drain. It's quite noisy out here. Alright, water level is down. Now to catch her. She's already hiding. Not a good start. We'll set up here. Should do the job. Might need to adjust the air. We'll see how we go. Well, I got her. Didn't take as long as I thought, which is great. Don't expect to be able to do a video of me stripping her, but we'll see.
Okay, so I managed to work out a way of recording this, but obviously not talking over it. I was concentrating far too much on actually stripping her. So like I said, this has been a long time since I've done this. Normally you would have something like a paper clip or a toothpick or something like that. The idea is you're trying to open the female cichlid's mouth and let her drop the eggs that she's holding into the container of water. I tried a little bit. The jaws are quite strong on frontosa. This is the first time I've stripped the frontosa. I was a little bit worried that I was freaking her out a little bit. As you can see here, I'm not quite hitting the mark like I wanted to do. So it wasn't quite working. So at this point of it, I'm stressing her out. I don't like this. She spent an egg there and it's just a weird little gross thing. I think we sort of squeezed and squashed it on the way out, which isn't ideal. So I'm beginning to freak out a little bit. So I had a flat butter knife just sitting here beside me on purpose, just in case I needed it. Worked significantly better. So here we go. We opened up her mouth, and as you can see, the eggs are falling out quite nicely. So you do this a couple times just to make sure she's totally clear, as she is cleaning out there. Try and hold on to them in the water as much as possible. Sometimes you might need a little bit of a gentle sway through the water just to make sure she's okay. I'm not a huge fan of holding fish out of the water for this sort of period, this sort of thing, but you've got to do what you've got to do. So yeah, this is basically stripping a cichlid. As you can see here, more eggs are coming out, which is good, and I'm a little worried that I'm freaking her out even more now. So just double check there's nothing in there. We are clear, we are done. Put her back.
There we go, all stripped. It's been a long time since I stripped a fish. That was a little bit daunting. I'm sure if I do it a few more times it'll be okay. Originally, the first thing that came out was that weird long looking thing there. Oops, my finger's in the way, that weird thing there, which I think I might take out. I thought, oh, we're in a bit of trouble here, but it looks like we got a few eggs out of that. So let's incubate them, let's hatch them and see how we go. Not 100% certain, but I don't think these things are meant to be dripping with water. My bad. Dropped it in.
See how we go. Set up another brine shrimp hatch. This will be ready for tomorrow. Be fed out tomorrow at some point to the fry, the breeders, and everything else that will eat it, which is pretty much everything. Alright, leaking tap has been sorted. DIY Daddy's daddy came and fixed it because I'm too useless for that kind of thing. Pulled it apart, got it sorted. How good. Hopefully we're all dried up this afternoon. And everybody's happy again. No more wasting water. It's about 10:15 and it is time for more coffee. I'm going to sit down at the computer, have my coffee. John has just sent me over a whole bunch of new profiles for the new fish that were about to be available about this time next week. So I've got to get through that and do a bit of design work for the 3 Idiots Talk Aquariums podcast, which is on live tomorrow. So only way to do that is with coffee. So I've been having a chat with David Sanchez today, a pretty well-renowned tetra breeder. We had him on our Fanatics Friday coffee date end of last year, talking about breeding tetras. Seems to think that the reason why we're getting eggs but we're not getting a hatch is our pH is potentially wrong, or that our hardness is a little bit too high. So we're doing a few tests today. Hopefully the spawns that we had the other day will still hatch, but that might be the reason why we're not getting any Flamme tetras hatch or the black neon tetras hatch, because we've got the eggs coming through but we're not getting any further. So something for me to fiddle around with and have a wee play with. Hopefully we get that sorted, and the next lot of spawnings that we do, which probably we'll put down today, I can have that adjusted and we get some eggs and then we get some hatching. Fingers crossed. Rightio, so we've done our tests. About 7.5 lemon tetra and black neon tank, and then we're coming in at around about 6.2, 6.3 in the RO water. So it hasn't taken much for that to go up. A little bit of a mix of tap water as well. So I'm making up some more RO water at the moment. I've spoken to David and thinks that it's probably hatching issues are caused by this water being too high a pH. So I've bought some phosphoric acid. It should be here in a few days time hopefully, and we will begin trying lowering the pH lower than 6 and see how we go, or probably around 6 to be fair, and see how we go from there. So we've got the RODI unit running, and again it looks like we're wasting water. I hate how much water that is ripped out of the RODI unit, but it's got to be done. We've got to clean it up, got to get it lower, get these tetras and stuff spawning. As we can see, this big tank has kind of become a bit of a dumping ground, as we're not using these slightly bigger tanks and we're going towards these white plastic containers. So I think this afternoon I'm going to spend a little bit of time and just try and organise this area a little bit better, and try and sort through all of these so they're not just all sitting up here. See how we go, work it out and get something slightly better going. I still want to use these for this container here, so I'm still going to continue to fiddle around with it for some of the bigger tetras and bigger danios and that kind of stuff. So they will not be wasted, they will be used. We've just got to make it all work properly first. So the Point Assisted song I'm so excited was just blasting on my music machine, and one of the lines was, "Tonight's the night, we're going to make it happen." Inspired me to get up, grab my book, read about how to spawn Rasbora. I filled a tank up. I'm going to catch some Rasbora. We're going to see if we can put them down for a spawn right now. Let's go! So there's a couple in there, good sized girl in there, or two, and a couple of boys. And I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Hopefully we get a wee spawn. I'm going to try with the Java Fern, because I want to spawn on the underside of big broad leaves, and I've seen them spawning on the Java Fern in this tank before. So we'll see how we go. Alright, they're in. Hopefully they're going to get comfortable. Hopefully in the morning we're going to find some Rasbora eggs. Absolutely love these gold head purple Rasboras. Easily one of my favourite Rasboras. I chucked a couple in from the shop because I thought I was pretty female heavy in here. I think it was 2 to 1, so I chucked a couple more in. So hopefully we're good to go. The song currently playing on my music machine is "Come On Eileen" So I'm going to change the words from come on Eileen to come on Cam. Let's get some fry going on. Have a look in the morning. And it's now about 4 o'clock-ish. It's time for more coffee. And a wee recap of what we have done today. We stripped our girl. We got around about 24, 23 eggs or something from her. I'm amazed at how big they are. Look like lemon seeds. I'm used to dealing with really small eggs from small tetras at the moment, so it blew me away how big they were. And did a fairly large water change on this thing. All the fronts in here looking pretty happy. So it's a good start. The eggs are tumbling away nicely. First time I've used one of these egg tumblers, so we'll see how they go. So far so good. And up here, the angels are still looking okay. I increased the airflow in all of these tanks just to try and make them feel a little bit better. I'll have an update on that tomorrow. Checked all the corridors with mixed results. There's a couple in here had a lot of dead fry in it, and a couple in here had some really good looking. No drama with fry in them at all. That's the results there. Put down 3 more spawns, neon tetras, white cloud minnows, and glow light tetras. Glow light girl was looking really big, so was the white cloud and so was the neon, so I thought, well, why not? Open them up in a couple of days time, hopefully we get some action in there. Took the plunge with the gold head purple rasboras, which means I then admit or fall on my sword there is no black neon tetra fry in here, so that's cool. Flame I believe is the same. We've got some more flame eggs over there at the moment, hopefully hatching, and we've definitely got lemon tetras. Did a water change on them today, fed them a couple of times. Fingers crossed tomorrow brine shrimp might be about the right size for them, we will see. And here is a video of L140, just because you don't see them very often, they don't come out all that often. Normally see the tails hanging around like that. I don't often see them just sort of sitting there cruising along. And that is it for another Choo 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 Tuesday. Have a good one team, happy fish keeping, and catch you later.